Larry reminded us in our last segment, we're all too aware that heart disease is a serious condition that affects both men and women, but it's also preventable through exercise and healthy eating habits. The American Heart Association is launching a new half-marathon training program called START Training that's geared toward runners and walkers of all different fitness levels. Joining me now is Dave Watkins, a heart disease survivor and the founder of Iron Heart Racing. And we also welcome Tim McConnell, the owner of West Seattle Runner and a volunteer for START Training, to show us how to find the perfect fitting shoe or walking or running shoe, anything you want, any kind of long distance event shoe. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks.
So first of all, Dave, you were only 34 when you found out that you had heart disease, right? And I guess I hadn't really thought about that, but that's not that uncommon. You were pretty young, but it happens.
Yeah, you know, being a very active person my whole life, being symptom-free, never thought anything could happen to me, that I was still young and strong and invincible.
Yeah, of course.
For me, it was a congenital problem that just went undetected up until I was in my mid-30s, and was running a race here locally and collapsed at the finish line, and that led me to go in and get checked out. I recovered. It was more like fainting. Went in and got checked out and realized that there was something much bigger going on inside that we ever thought was possible.
That's got to be an incredibly sobering moment at 34, because of course people think they're bulletproof at that point.
Right. I mean, I think I went kicking and screaming. It was my wife who was saying, "Yeah, you've got to get in and get this
That's not an uncommon story.
Right. No, probably not.
And so what did they do for you?
Well, so I mean, for me it was a series of tests, and it actually took a long time for for doctors to really identify all that was really going on. And by the time that we finally captured everything, I needed to have my aortic valve replaced. There was an aneurysm that had kind of formed on the aorta as well. The aortic root walls were paper thin. I was told when I went in that my chances of going to sleep and waking up tomorrow were less than me going to sleep and never waking up again. So surgery was imminent. I had to get in and I had to have this repaired really quick. So I got in and were able to get things taken care of and had quite a few road bumps along the way.
But 6 months later, you ran a half marathon.
So 6 months later, I ran a half marathon here, the Seattle Half Marathon.
And then 7 months after that, I'm told that you did the Ironman in Coeur d'Alene.
I did the Ironman triathlon in Coeur d'Alene 7 months after that. So 13 months after surgery. For me, training started literally from getting off of the couch to walking to the refrigerator.
Right.
And then it was to, you know, my own bed, and then it was to the front door, and then to the couch out, you know, to the mailbox. And eventually you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And,
apparently, really quickly.
And 140.6 miles later, it was the end of first Ironman.
We have great admiration for that. We want to get everybody up and training and off the couch and going and use you as inspiration here. So let's talk about shoes, because this can be tough. Tell us how we find the right pair of shoes, especially if you're a beginner, your feet are going to hurt maybe a little bit, you're afraid of. What do you do to get the right pair of shoes?
We get a lot of people that come in and they'll come look at our shoe wall and pick a shoe out based on color.
Is that wrong?
That's probably the least important portion of picking out a shoe.
Really?
There's different types of shoes for all different types of runners. And there's words like supination, people that stand and when they run their feet go out, or people that pronate and their feet roll in.
That's me.
People that really overpronate and their feet come in really hard. So there's different shoes to correct the different gaits that people have.
So how important is it that we come in and we get properly fitted before we buy these shoes?
Depends on how far you want to run. I mean, if you just don't want to do a 5K, pick any shoe you want, and you may not get hurt. But if you want to do some distance, you're going to want to be in a shoe that's correct for your gait.
Right.
And going to a specialty running store, having them analyze your gait and go through the shoes with you to find the exact right shoes, definitely going to help you.
Pretty important. I would think so.
Very.
All right, well, we have something special going on that we want to tell you about. The START Training Program kicks off on April 9th at the Bitter Lake Community Center, and it builds up to the C. Jane Run Half Marathon in July to help raise money for the American Heart Association. There are free info sessions from April 5th through the 7th, and we'll have all of that information and also how to register on our website for you. But to help get everybody excited, because we want this spring, we're all getting off the couch, we're getting out there, we're walking, we're running. 3 local running stores, Super Jock and Jill, Everyday Athlete and West Seattle Runner are giving away a free shoe fitting and pair of shoes to 2 lucky people in the audience today. And we're not done. We're not done. A 3rd pair of shoes is going to somebody at home, so please stay tuned till the end of the show to find out how you can win some brand new running shoes. And we mean you go in, you get fitted, you pick the shoes, right? That's our deal. Thank you guys so much. Isn't that neat? After the break, the ultimate disaster kit that every parent should have in their house. We'll see how to put it together right after this break. Thank you.